We did it. Wait, I can't hear you. Oh, there you are.
I know. It's
Yo, it's a lot.
got it.
It's a lot. So,
We did it.
y'all, we are streaming today from a completely new platform. Learning it as we are going. I'm trying to make sure that everything is showing up in the places that it's supposed to be. So we are live, okay, over on YouTube. Excellent. All right. We did it.
We are there. We
So
are there.
yesterday, quick story time. Yesterday when I realized, I was like, oh, I need to, because we originally, I was going to plan the show on, or schedule the show on Friday, right? But then I
Mhm.
forget what happened. Brain got distracted. Okay, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Okay, fine. So then I went to schedule the show, and then I was like, oh wait, we on StreamYard strike right now. Oh wait, where we
Oops. What
what
we
we
gonna
finna
be?
do?
Everybody get in the group chat.
So then I remembered I have been doing quite a few podcast appearances lately that I'll get into in a little bit. And
Nice.
they have been over here on this platform. So then I was like, I think they have been using the free version. Let me go see what's going on with it, right? And
Right.
now I done come on over here to the Riverside, child, and I'm
Hey,
we
now.
gonna we gonna update y'all or whatever. So
Getting all the
don't
things.
go getting things yet because I'm probably gonna sign up to be an affiliate. Okay, and I want y'all to use my link.
And use the
But
link. You gotta use the code.
I'm pretty impressed with the capabilities so far, and also public service announcement. This the first day up over here, so things are nowhere near as fluid as they might usually be. So the
You know,
majority of the
look.
time when we just sitting here talking, we got that part. But
Right.
it's
Now the
other things
banners
in
and the
other places.
sliding of the things that, you know,
Correct.
just keep your
Correct.
eyes out.
Yeah, so treat it like an Easter egg hunt and just look for all the
Right.
Easter eggs. And one day this will be a trivia question when we, have
Remember
our
when?
super huge following, we'll have trivia questions
Yes.
about when we first started and when we switched platforms. It's like that's how you know the OGs, right? Because we've
Right,
been
right. They've
telling
been through it
y'all
all.
we've been telling y'all about our emojis and like all of that. So this is how we know the people that was riding since Ben, because
From day
y'all
one, you
they're gonna
know?
be like, y'all remember they made the switch over there? Yep. So it's
You
like,
know?
here's the thing. Kevin on Stage Studios is my favorite podcast, and
Right.
to watch like the things get added to the desk over time, and it tells
Yeah.
the story, and it's like you can go back and
Yeah.
watch those clips and like be so excited. But anyway, all right, let's get started in together, okay, because I'll be on the tangent. Hey y'all.
Oh my goodness. She's like, hi. I'm the magic disappearing.
We got a lot
Partner in
going on,
crime over
guys.
here.
It's okay. It's
Doing
okay.
doing
Take
it.
two.
Doing
All right. Hey, y'all. Welcome to So You Don't Put Syrup on Your Grilled Cheese. We are two real life cousins who are here to talk about the stuff that we thought was that we thought was normal, but was actually
Oh.
the family recipe of dysfunction. So, we are on a mission to unpack it all, to share our stories, and help others find their voices when it comes to healing and mental health. And we're inviting you to join us on this journey of self discovery, of laughter, and maybe even a little bit of healing. So, my name is Kimberland, Tylin, House of O'Neill, Jackson, and Adams, empathetic energizer, intuitive, inspirational innovator, seer of souls who are hurting, healer of hearts, and voice to the voiceless.
Amen.
Oh, wait,
Hey.
we do have air horns. Where are they at?
Bah, bah, bah,
Oh,
bah.
Kalonda, always do that. And then I'm like, no, but
I'd
we
be like, I
actually
don't know,
have them.
I don't know why we don't just put
It's
that
okay. You
like,
go ahead. I'm gonna find the real ones for your turn.
oh, not the
Oh,
real ones.
I didn't
Ain't
mean
that
that to
some
be an
stuff?
insult.
We find the real ones. You go do your little ba-ba-bas, you know. Anyway, well, I'm Kalonda. First of her name, House of Jackson. Assistant to entrepreneurs, beacon of banter, creator of content, dancer of dreams, excellence enchantress, and a NOLA native.
Wait, I lost them.
See, you never have to worry about those. They be on time. Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh man, I gotta get used to where the things at in the studio. But woo, all right. Go ahead.
Oh, it's a good time. It's a good time, y'all. We are so happy you are here. Amongst top quality production, great sound, amazing lighting. Those are just a few of the things you can expect from us. But there are definitely some things that we expect from you guys and some official things that you should expect from us. So from you, we expect, or actually I got that backwards. From us, you can expect amazing professionalism, 100% accuracy at all times. I'm joking. Above all of that, we are funny. And if you don't think we're funny, we think we're very funny. So get on board. Come join us. We are a hoot, I'm telling you. But you can also expect just transparency on the journey, right? Like we're out here to put this all out on the table, so there aren't those shrouds and those areas of secrecy. We want to share that information with you guys. We are not experts by any stretch of the imagination on everything. There are things that we are experts on, and that is what we will talk to you about. The things that we aren't experts on, we will get you a resource that is, because that's what we do. We connect people, right? Speaking of connecting people, as far as what we expect from you guys, is just be engaging. Hang out with us, talk to us in the chat. We'll be responding to you. Talk to each other in the chat. Nobody's scary. It's okay. It's a safe space here. We also expect, just transparency and willingness to go on this journey with us. Ask us the questions. You're like, hey girl, how does this happen? Like, why did y'all switch? Like, how easy is that to do? Kalonda, why do you keep going dark on your computer? Whatever the things are, feel free, pop on in, ask the questions. There's no bad questions except unanswered one or unasked ones. And then above all, like, comment, subscribe, share, watch it again, share, listen to it while you're not looking at it. All of those things are the absolute freest ways to support us and help us on this journey that we are growing every single week. And we thank you guys for doing that. So if you smiled one time, that's one watch hour at least and one share. That's it.
Yes, that's it. That's it, y'all. So I was over here trying to put our banners in so we could have the things, right? So these are our emojis, and I could only have them up. It puts the banner up for only a certain amount of time, so only for like 20
quick, y'all.
seconds. So the sunflower
That's
and
why
the
you
crayon.
can.
I know, right? Hurry up! So I was thinking, wrap it up, bitch. Okay, so the sunflower and the crayon are my emojis. The sunflower is representative of invisible disabilities as well as joy and God's presence and all of that. And sunflowers make me happy. Yellow is my favorite color. It brings me joy. And the crayon, because there was a time, I'm gonna go into this later, but there was a time that my life was very much in black and white. And I made a conscious decision to color the fuck out of my life. So the crayon is the other emoji that I use. And then, okay, you ready for your 20 seconds?
I'm ready. Okay, so my emojis, blue heart, ladybugs, right? Ladybugs, for me, are personal messengers from the universe, from God. They are a symbol of luck, a message that you are on the right path, and then just like a picture of transformation. They helped me as I was going through the process of leaving the States and moving and going through burnout and all the things, just to kind of give me that personal reminder that I was on the right path and doing the right things. The cobalt or the blue heart, cobalt blue is my favorite color. It's just warm and rich and just feels good. It feels like a hug. And I have committed to loving, being loved out loud without having to question what that looks like and what that means. So, super excited to see those emojis whenever we're out in these internet streets. That is the best way that you can show that you are here, from so you don't put syrup on your grilled cheese, and to let us know, like, hey, I'm sending you some extra love. I see you. Here's a sunflower. I see you. Here's a ladybug. So there will be lots of opportunity for you guys to do that with us as we branch out and grow on our journey.
Yay! So, some quick updates. We want to again thank you all for subscribing to the channel. We are at 1,164 subscribers. So, oh damn! See, that's when I'm supposed to have the air horn. Oh, we need a producer. We need a producer that can do these
Who
things.
is in charge of the girls? That's why that's the title.
Oh, that's why that's the title? Oh my God.
Because you said I need a manager. So
I
who's
do.
in charge of the girls?
Oh my God,
That's
it's so much. Oh, it makes sense now. Because I was going to ask you about that. Like, what does this mean? Yes. So we are at 1,164 subscribers. We need approximately 1,500 more watch hours. So want to give y'all actual numbers as we are looking to monetize over here on the YouTube and to be able to bring you all a whole lot more content. Also want to remind you all that one of our segments, Ask An Auntie, is still a thing, and you can send us, actually, we found out earlier that if we do wind up going with this here platform right here and we get the pro plan, that we have the ability to do live show call-ins.
I mean, hello.
Okay, listen. So I'm just trying to get y'all together, get y'all pumped and primed and ready, okay? Because we
Y'all
leveling up.
seeing it now.
We
Y'all
leveling
seeing
up
it.
in
Y'all
real
seeing
time.
the glow up in real time.
I'm just saying. Okay. So again, Ask An Auntie, if you go to tinyurl.com/Ask An Auntie, you can tell us about different scenarios. Maybe it's something you're going on in your own life. Maybe it is something that you and your friends was talking about, and y'all was like, "Girl, we got to talk about this with somebody else," right? So feel free to submit those different things, and you can remain anonymous if you want to. And we're gonna be working on that live call in, because then y'all will be able to just call and tell us the situation right quick, girl.
Pop
We get
in
the
and
tea.
say.
Okay. So yeah. Also, if you want to be a guest, if you want to come on with us and sit here and talk with us and hang out with us, please email us at mindinmyblackAssBusiness@gmail.com with the subject line, "Let me on there." This is the only caveat. You do have to have syrup on your grilled cheese. You do have to taste it. You do have to give a honest review, okay? Because, yes, we eat syrup on our grilled cheese. And
it's phenomenal.
It's
and I'm going to refrain, if you don't mind, just a quick refrain.
Go ahead.
Get to try it. You get to have it. You
As
get
opposed
to enjoy it.
It's an enjoyment.
You know, it's an enjoyable thing.
Facts.
Sweet, savory. Y'all do it with this ham and pineapples that I personally don't like. I don't like that, but it's a sweet thing. You know, it's a good time. It's a good time. You get to
each
try
their own. You know, this is a judgment-free zone. We don't judge food choices.
Correct. We don't yuck your yums.
Just saying. Okay. So so those are all of our announcements, our updates, all the things. Okay, whatever. So how is we got so much to talk about.
I know.
Start with, how is your spirit feeling today?
My spirit feels footloose and fancy free. I feel like the last couple days I've been like super energetic, which is funny because I think my cycle's about to start. So that's really the opposite of what I would normally be feeling, but I'm gonna take it. But yeah, I feel super motivated. I've been feeling really creative lately, which is nice. Just optimistic. I feel good. I feel good. And Mercury in retrograde ends tomorrow, everybody, if
Can it
anybody's
come on and
tracking
be
that,
done?
you know.
Wear my ass out. You hear me?
You almost through, sis. You made it this far. You're almost done.
Cause golly, it feels like it has
It's
been really
well
intense.
because it was because we can't like Venus was in retrograde first, and then we got out of Venus, and then went right into Mercury. So I think it was just the combination of all the things moving backwards and messing with all the stuff. You get to feel it all. So
Yeah, that was a lot of
one will be
energy.
done.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what's interesting? I had a revelation
Hmm.
this week, over the past couple days. And I was like, girl, you real woo woo. Like, and I never considered myself to be woo woo, but I
Oh.
am. And I had
Mm-hmm.
that realization when I was like going around other people because I live in my own world, right? And I'm in here, like, I'm really about to start looking for a silent retreat to just,
Oh, just shut it out, huh?
it's so much going on in the world and in my world. Let's just
It's like bring it
everybody
down.
hush.
Yes, it
Um,
did.
and I realized that's a real woo woo thing. So I was like,
She's like, I need to check out for a little bit.
so I had this realization of like, I am very much everybody ain't on that. That was the realization.
Right.
Everybody ain't on that. And that's why everybody ain't fooling with you, girl, because everybody ain't on that. And if
And
they
that's
ain't
all
on
right. That's
that,
them.
they ain't on that. But so to answer the question, so for the because I got a whole list of shit. But for the transparency moment, as far as how my spirit is feeling today, my spirit is feeling creative and productive. My spirit is feeling a desire to collaborate and plan and strategize. I feel very capable of being able to do
Nice.
that. My spirit also feels not necessarily footloose and fancy free, but it feels joyful. Like I feel like this is
Nice.
what my spirit feels like. My spirit feels like I'm in the zone and I am putting some respect
Hey,
on my own name. That's what my
there
spirit
you
feels like.
go.
Yeah. So whatever, wherever
That's a
that's
good
at
place.
on the feelings
That's a
board.
very good place. And I feel a bit of that considering I think the last time we talked, I was more like imposter syndrome of like, they gonna find out. I don't know none of this. And then it's like, girl, you know all of this. What are you talking about? So yeah, definitely more of a kind of coming into it. And sometimes you do need that validation, and I think my first thing is you don't need anybody to tell you, you need to know, like whatever. But then that does go a long way. You just have to let yourself hear it, because I think at the same time I'll be like, oh, they have to say that. Like my mom has to
Mm.
say I'm smart. It's my mom, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like discounting it because it's like, oh, they're supposed to. But in real life it's like, no, they don't have to. They're not. No. She also has to say I'm pretty too. That's one of the other
That's in the
requirements.
contract.
Um, um, but yeah, like not discounting that and like figuring out where to put those compliments and those thoughts. And I guess I shouldn't even say compliments, because if that's what it is, it's not like, oh, I'm saying this flowery thing to make you feel better. It's I'm recognizing the talent and what you're bringing to the situation. So, because I don't be knowing what to do with that. People are like, you're so smart, and I'm like, yeah, nice to
Mm.
meet you. I don't. Where you put that? What you do? Do you say thank you? Like what you say when people tell you you smart?
What do I actually say?
Okay.
So
I'm ready for this answer. I'm gonna write this down. I feel like this is about to be good. Yes, Kim. What do you say?
go
Actually,
ahead and take a
when
moment and
people
like
tell
the
you are
video,
smart.
share and subscribe. No, so what do I say when people tell me I'm smart? Sometimes when I am not choosing violence, I say thank you. Most times when I am choosing
She's
violence,
like,
I say, I know.
interesting. That made my chest tight.
But to say I know,
Yes.
why?
I don't know why. That it feels like I don't know, child. That's an interesting one. Because literally, like Carla was saying, because I was having this conversation with her, and she's like, do you think you're smart? And I'm like, well, objectively, yes, I know that I know things that other people don't know, or whatever. I was like, but then I also go into, well, what's the range? Smart compared to what? Like there could be way more people on this side than on this side. Like, where do I fall on that kind of range? But that's just the brain does the things and it spins up and goes. So yes, objectively I do. But I feel like when people say it, it's very much like a, okay, like what is making them say it? What's the motivation behind it? Like now, what do I have to do in order to actually
Still be
like
smart.
be smart to whatever they're measuring it up against? It it sends me down a whole nother way. It's not just you're smart, thank you, you have great ideas or whatever. It like I don't know where to put that. I don't know where to put that. And so that's why I was like, it's for real. Like, what do you say? Like, are you just like, oh, thank you? But then I also can't be like, oh, I know. And I'm like,
why you can't?
That blew my mind. That one blew my mind. That was like,
I do know. Like you're not, and it's so funny.
But maybe that's the difference because I'm not like claiming it. I don't know. It's very interesting.
But you are though. You're smart. I don't know. So I went on this whole like rant. Okay, it's not a rant. Let me use my words with intention. I
Okay.
did some free thought journaling.
Okay.
And one of the things that I wrote down here is I'm a scientist. And so this is what has been happening in my world. So remember I said yesterday I was coming on here to see how we was gonna stream and figure that out and all of that, right? So while I was on here, people actually came on, which was helpful because I needed comments because I need to figure out how the things do it, whatever. But anyway, I started talking about brain research and because that's what I like. I like to talk about brain research because I think it's really important, and we don't know things about our brains, right?
Right.
And I was reminded in that moment, like, bitch, you got a whole biology degree. Like, you are degreed in this, right?
Correct.
So when I went back and I was watching it, because again, I wanted to see like the quality and whatever of how the recording came, the sound, all the things. I was sitting there looking at myself, and I was like, I'm a scientist in real life, like
for real.
So
officially,
correct. So then it went. So follow me down this train because this is about to hit a whole bunch of things that I want to talk about. Right?
R.I.P.
So I wrote down. I said I want to take a moment to pop my shit, and I said. So, I oftentimes, and not on this platform, I have not necessarily like introduced myself with all my things. That's kind of like gonna heal that shit. So I do want to take a moment to just kind of contextualize, and I want y'all to follow me here. So my bachelor's degree is in biology. I have a master's degree in educational leadership with a concentration on curriculum and instruction. I have been a teacher for over 20 years. Well, almost 20 years. It'll be 20 years next year. So for 19 years. I have taught students, I have taught teachers, I have taught administrators, I have taught district professionals, I have taught school board members. I very much specialize in professional development and things that are all illegal right now, such as diversity, equity, and inclusion, creating culturally competent schools, trauma informed practices, restorative practices, social emotional learning. Like, these are the worlds that I live in as far as studies are concerned, right? And I realized that I don't necessarily show up in my professional capacities in social media world, right? Because all of this stuff that I'm talking about, this is stuff that's happening in the real world and stuff that is happening outside of what I'm recording on the internet. And
Right.
I think that sometimes people think that it's a couple things that I think. I think that sometimes people don't actually know who I am. So when I say things
Mm-hmm.
like Google me, I'm not trying to be arrogant. I'm trying to help you to understand who you're talking to, because that is important, especially when you are looking to collaborate with somebody, when you're looking to partner with
Mm-hmm.
somebody, when you're looking to have somebody on your platform. And let me pause here and say, I'm not talking about you unless I'm talking about you. So if you are having a moment where you like, ooh, I invite you to take the shoe, put it on, and walk around the block and just consider that there might be a different perspective, because I know it feels like shots fired, but I'm also talking very generally across many, many experiences. But also, these things have happened as well in the very recent future. So if you feel like I'm talking about you, you might be one of the ones. And also consider. So anyway, um, I realized that because I don't show up in my professional capacity a lot, people think about me in social media world as footloose, fancy free, dancing the
Mm.
Lizzo on the internet in my drawers
Frolicking and
and
blowing
frolicking
bubbles.
about and having, the things blowing bubbles
But those
and all the
things
things. And
do
that is me.
happen. Yeah.
And also,
And also, right.
I
Both and.
know who I am, what I have done, what I am currently doing. I know the people that are successful or more successful because we have crossed paths. I know that,
Mhm.
right? And even though that might not be captured over there on Instagram, that does not mean that's not happening, right?
Right.
So I had this moment and I was like, I need to pop my shit and I need to like put some respect on my name. And I've been saying that for a little while, right?
Hmm.
So then I said, what usually happens when I talk about me and my experiences, this is who I am. This is what I've done. This is who, whatever, in the context of whatever conversation. What usually happens is people shrink and
Mm.
their insecurities rise up, and they're like, well, damn, I haven't done that, I haven't done this, I didn't go to school, I didn't finish this, I didn't do that, da 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 da, as opposed to it being like, damn, she really knows who she is. How can I also know who I am? Let me take a moment and pop my own shit, because while
Mm.
I may not have XYZ degree, I'd have done A, B, and C, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4,
Right.
5, and 6. Bitch, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Because that is like a feat for many of us, right? So it
Seriously.
made me like remember, I've always been a confident person, which is interesting because I found
Hmm.
myself in situations where I had to like rebuild that. But even as a child, I was very confident. I know how to do school. I recognize I'm number one in this classroom. I
Right.
realize that ain't nobody else reading, and I'm the only one sitting in here reading SRA letter turquoise books, and everybody else over there see spot rut,
Right.
see cat dog. Like, I realize that, right? So I've always been, yes,
Hmm.
I know I'm smart. Hmm. But
Yeah.
what happens is it gets misinterpreted as, oh, you supposed to, like, I'm supposed to shrink and be like, oh, not too much or whatever, as opposed to, yes, I am. And also, what's your point? What is we talking about right now?
What
Because
is
yes, you
where
were
are we?
talking to a genius, and geniuses be out here. That's what I want y'all to know. I wrote right here. I said people be geniuses out here, and you have no
True.
idea because but I'm smart in what I'm smart in. Let me say that because what I
Right.
don't know, I
Yeah.
don't know,
I
and
don't
I don't
know.
know
But
none
the
of it.
things I do know, the
Oh
things I
baby,
do know,
oh, it
I get
runs deep.
excited. Like I wanna share it. I wanna tell you about it. Like we had our, and this could be part of it too. Like I've always been around smart people, and
Mm-hmm.
I've always been around very intelligent people. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, yes, I'm smart.
Mm-hmm.
I know that, but I also know there are other smart people out there. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to like find the right answer, quantify the smart, if you will. Anyway,
Instead of just
but
being like I'm one of the smart ones. You're correct.
I am one of the smart ones. Like, yes, yes, okay, fine.
Because they didn't
But
say the
like,
smartest.
true, true. But I think I want to manage the expectation. Maybe
Ah,
that's what it is.
okay.
That could be. I'm
That's
gonna put that
fair.
in my pocket. That might be what it is. Um, because yes, like I was in gifted at a very young age. To your point, reading, doing all the things. Like our family put the books. They were like, you need to, even if it's Sweet Valley High, like you need to be reading. Like this is going to help. Um, so going through that in elementary school, it was good, but it also was isolating to an extent because in gifted classes it takes you out of like the regular classes that you're in, and but you can still build those relationships with the kids in your gifted class, but you do miss a part of that kind of group work and things like that. Like I know, I want to say going from maybe first grade to second grade they wanted to skip me, and my mom was like no, and I knew a lot of people in high school that had
I
the same
remember
kind of
that because I
conversations.
remember being like, "Can I do that too? Can I like be done?"
She's like,
Because remember, I
how
was
do
on the
we
track to college. Hey, can I get
to
from
get out? How I get
what
out?
extra year? They wasn't doing that
You're
down
like, I
at the
can get
Lutheran
out of here.
school.
No. So they were like, my mama said no. And I appreciate that. And then even as I got into high school, again, being around people, because I went to a magnet school, that a lot of them had the same conversation or they did get skipped. And so they were younger in our grade. And so sometimes depending on when in high school it was, you could see that difference. So kind of keeping you aligned with the peers and that whole experience. Um, but all that to say, like we, my high school just had its alumni picnic recently, right? And it was beautiful. Like just looking at the pictures, seeing all the memories, like seeing all the people. Amen. All the gifted, talented kids. Rock on. Especially if you were in like the portable building of your school. I remember. Side note. I remember finding out that I was special needs because my mom had said something about an IEP. And I knew that the kids that were in special education had IEPs. And so I was like, I remember crying. Like, I feel like she had to like console me and everything. Like, I don't know if you remember that, mom. Feel free to pop in. She's in the audience. Um, but her saying like, well, it just means that you have different needs that they need to adapt your lessons. It's not a bad thing. So I was like, oh, got it, okay. But anyway, back to picnic, seeing the picnic and seeing everybody and just being like so proud of the diversity that was there, and to see that that continued after we left, and knowing that it really did have such a huge impact on who I was, and that um, when you came from a place where people made fun of you because, oh, you're trying to sound white, or you talk proper, or why do you have a book in your purse, going to a school where we all were nerds, we all were the weird kids, like we
Yeah.
all, not even like outcasts, but just that we all were kind of like the misfits. It was very welcoming, and the teachers, I think, took extra time and care and kind of let us explore and be kids because they knew we were trying to like be people, figure out how do I move through this world. And it was just very I don't know if they know like how much they did for us. I don't know if they did it on purpose all the time, because now being an adult, you realize a lot of this shit, we're all just winging it. But but the impact was definitely there, and getting to see all of these people who are professionals in whatever version of life, if they're homemakers, but they're homemakers with 3 and 4 degrees, you know what I mean? Like it's just excellence, period, and still having the ability to like go out and ask where them fans at, and put their boots on the ground. It's like it makes me feel so proud and so
Yeah.
warm, and like you can have both. You can be, to your point, you can have your frolicking on Instagram and know I am a scientist. I do both of these things, and you too should seek out how you can be your whatever degree you got, and also be the person that has joy in their life. And it was such an emotional experience that I wasn't expecting. And I like wrote this blog, put it in our alumni group, and like the response was overwhelming, and even like teachers were like, thank you for saying that, we really cared, we still get together once a month for lunch. And I'm like, it
Wow.
was like it was food for my soul, like, and I didn't even know I needed it. It was beautiful, and I was really happy to see that. On the other side, with everything going on in the world, it made me so sad for the kids that are coming up and going through this process, because it's like I've always felt like that, because in the movies people are like, high school was terrible, I hated it, it was the worst place ever. And I'm like, I'm so
You
sorry
loved
that was your
it.
experience. I loved high school.
Yeah. You speak very
Like,
fondly of your high school experience often.
it was a really good experience, and it really did like give me an appreciation that there isn't one way. We had so many, not so many, it wasn't like a whole bunch, but we had at least 4 kids, I want to say, while I was in from 10th to 12th grade, that left and like got their GEDs so they could go work, because they said,
Mm-hmm.
you know what, I've gotten what I need from here. And
Mm-hmm.
not only did they say that, but they were supported by like the counselors and the teachers
Wow.
of, okay, this is what you need to do in order to do that. And so that was really one of my reasons for wanting to be a guidance school counselor, to be able to have these conversations with parents, more parents than kids, because the parents were the ones that needed to kind of wrap their head around you. Going to college immediately after high school isn't necessarily the answer for everybody. If your child is great at a trade and they have a skill that people are willing to pay for, and it's something that they're good at and enjoy, let them do that. Like, and if they need to go to school later or do something different, guess what? You can. Like, there's no there's no age limit on when you can get into college. You can do that whenever it works for you. And having that difference, especially between like amongst races, of like children are seen as providers and contributing to households at much younger ages, instead of take that gap year, figure out who you are, decide what you want to do with your life. Like, we aren't always afforded that opportunity because that wasn't necessarily what our parents or their parents saw and experienced. So it was very cool to be in a place to see that those differences existed. And I wanted to be a part of continuing that conversation of like, you can do it a million different ways. Obviously, that's not what happened, but I just
Well,
took the scenic route. I came
I was
right. I
about to
came
say, well,
right.
actually,
came right.
that's
Came
what's
right back
happening right
around.
now is
Exactly.
you're talking to young people across the world and to
Exactly.
parents who are still thinking about that traditional route. Like, the world is not the same as it used
Correct.
to be. And we have to prepare young people for the world that they are living in. Like a lot
Right.
of our generation and the generations before us are like so anti technology, right? No
Yeah.
social, they just finding Facebook, so it's like, I guess I've gone down on over there to Facebook. And there's a lot happening on Facebook right now. It's just not a safe place in so
It's
many
not. The
ways.
information isn't
It's a
vetted at
lot.
all. The
It's a lot.
sources.
It's hard for me to even
Whew,
be over there. But I
whew.
brought it up because we're holding on to antiquated thinking and we're
Mm-hmm.
handicapping the young people who are coming behind us. Today's day and age is about being in content creation and owning your own story and creating your own
Mm-hmm.
independent things and exploring your creative outlets and what that looks like. And even if you are going to school to be a doctor, a lawyer, whatever, like a traditional route, but you actually documenting that and making space for
Right.
all of the rest of the things that are attached to you, that wasn't what we were given. So if we
Right.
keep trying to preach to young people like you got to go to college and you got to do this and you got to do that, and it's the complete opposite of what they want to be doing, what's happening is we wasting money is what's happening.
Waste of money and time. Your biggest asset is your time. Like, there was so much time wasted trying to do the thing of like, just go to school, just get a degree. It don't matter what the degree is
Right.
in, just get one. And it's like, but that's a waste of money. That's a waste of money and it's a waste of my time. I could be learning a trade, learning something that's actually going to build my future instead of forcing myself into the system to
Right.
just get a degree to say I have one. For
Because
who?
that's
Who
all
is
it's
that
doing right about
for?
now. It's just saying that you got one. And it's
Child.
and that's another thing that has changed. Like with the world is like before having a degree, at least we were told this. I don't know if it ever worked like this, but we were told that when you have a degree, it opens up all of these doors for you to be able to have exponential earning opportunity and all of that kind of stuff. It was a lie. And many of us that have degrees are not using our degrees because there were only a limited number of those jobs available anyway. So, like, just thinking about the job market and
Hmm.
what is happening right now is that we just got to be realistic. Like, we have to live
Yeah,
in realism and
today.
not this,
Right.
correct, not this idealistic view of, well,
Yeah.
I need pen and paper. Okay, and also you need to learn how to use this digital platform because in a few years ain't gonna be no more pens and ain't gonna be no more papers. Okay, so
Child.
you're doing yourself a disservice to be like, I'm not learning this, I'm not doing
I'm not
that.
gonna
Like,
adopt this new, like, I'm not work like AI, y'all. Like, on everything, on
saves brain
anything.
cells.
Like, one of the clients that I'm working with, I was holding a meeting with one of her employees, and we were talking, and I was talking about AI, something about it, and then we wound up talking about my journal and stuff, and I was just like, ChatGPT or whatever version you want to use, and there's so many options that do way more than just that. I was like, it's huge. I was like, use it not just for work or like. I asked Chat like, what's one of the no, it's like this Monday version of Chat. And so it's like super spicy and like sassy. And I love a spicy chat, y'all. But it was saying that one of the most frequent questions that it gets asked every day is the difference between baking powder and baking soda. Like that, and if fish sleep were like the biggest questions that people ask ChatGPT. And so I asked it, well, what are some things that you think people should be asking you? Like, what would you expect to see more of? And it was kind of like, well, considering the amount of existential dread that people have, I would think that it would be more questions centered around like, what brings me joy? How do I, get out of burnout? Like, how do I create the life that actually feels worth living, kind of thing. But I was saying this to her of, you know, ask it to help you figure out, what's the best way to use my time. Like, I'm in a funk. How do I get out of it? Tell it your story, and you'll be surprised at the things that it pulls out as this inanimate object that does not know you outside of whatever input you give it, can sometimes give you more clarity and insight than people that are around you every day. Um, but we just don't know to use it that way. And it's I don't know. I geek out about it. I get so nerdy about it. I'm gonna do a whole nother version of my journal because I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
like
I was
it's
just
yeah,
telling I've been telling a lot of people about, cuz I feel like between you and Lewis, y'all really changed the way that I was like utilizing AI and being able to, it's all in the prompt and knowing
right.
how to ask the right prompt, right? But also in giving it enough information that is able to pull from to be able to help you to plan and and utilize things. Come on, it's funny. So Vin is Kalonda's executive network business operation enterprise that she has going over there.
Yes,
So
Lord.
that's what I was talking about. I'm gonna ask
She
my
gonna
Vin
ask.
executive assistant. That's wise.
Yes.
But yeah, so one of the things that, so it's interesting because my AI talks to me like it's me. And it's so
Hmm.
funny because you don't realize the type of inputs that you're putting in until it starts outputting
It
stuff.
starts
So my
spitting it back.
AI is, my chat GPT is full on over here like, girl, we finna save the world and bring people joy. Okay, that's what we finna do over
Exactly.
here.
Yes.
So I asked it the other day. I was talking about burnout and talking about all these things,
Hmm.
and I'm like, people are in my inbox, and I just feel like we need to have spaces for people to be able to find
Hmm.
relief. And I've been working on the sunflower path and all of that. So I had my first AI help me to plan. I'm talking, did a whole facilitator guide, a
Get
whole
it?
facilitator guide, 90-minute facilitator guide with suggested songs. And I tweaked it a little bit, but I was like, this is good now. This is
Like
good.
this is like you doing what got
You're helping
it.
me save my
Yeah.
brain cells. Now all I got to do is execute. Now you done helped me to thank you to chat. Okay. But anyway, so we had our first healing circle. I had my first healing circle yesterday.
Yes. How
And
was
the
it?
Healing Circle is a place for Black women and femmes to be able to come and experience a breath, to be able to
Mm.
breathe, to be able to have a moment to feel seen and heard. So even yesterday, I was explaining. So let me kind of, I'm gonna throw a lot of things in here, y'all, because also time. Um, I got my appointment for asylum, and so it's next week. And I'm excited about it, but I'm also nervous
Mm.
because it's a 3.5 hour appointment.
Wow.
And I have to recount everything that happened when I was in Pennsylvania, and the things that have
Mm.
happened since I've left Pennsylvania, and the things that continue to happen that I just don't be talking about. So,
Mm.
it's gonna be a lot. So I've really been working on like figuring out how to stabilize myself for that, and um create space to honor any triggering that might happen or any feelings that might come up, and making sure afterwards I have a soft landing and like an opportunity
Hmm.
to just be able to just be and be in my own world and all of that. So anyway, in that I've been trying to figure out like what that looks like and how to even hold space for myself, the healing
Right.
circle. So yesterday we had some people that came, and one of the things that I had shared was I still have video of when I lost my ability to communicate. Like I was
Mm.
stuttering, and I was like, it was like processing delays like a motherfucker. Like
Yeah.
it was
Brain
long.
fog all the way. Yeah.
Right. So, but I had recorded myself by this time because I had lost the ability to write. I was struggling with typing. So I was just like, let me just turn on the Zoom and at least
Talk.
try to
Yeah.
capture what the hell is happening right now. So, anyway, so I was sharing that. And one of the ladies was like, that happened to me. And I didn't know what was happening. I was scheduling appointments with neurologists, and, thinking I had some type of brain tumor or something. Like, I had no idea what was happening. And I was like, yeah, that is a biological response to trauma. Like, I was able to say that because I've lived through that.
Right.
So it was a really beautiful time and affirming space. We learned some different strategies, some like somatic body exercises for how to move
Mm.
energy through us instead of energy being stuck in our bodies. And by the time we left, we were able to laugh and we were able to
Oh.
feel a little bit lighter, right? The world hasn't changed, but I'm able to ground myself, right? So it made me think of it when you were talking about like the existential dread and all the things that are happening right now. There is a movement to have spaces where people are able to access joy because of course I did ask them like what is something that brings you joy? And anytime I ask somebody that question, many times people struggle and they don't know,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if it's that we're looking for something huge or if we just don't know and haven't had the opportunity. But one of the ladies shared, she was like, I don't think I've had joy in like 20 years.
Yeah.
She was like,
Yeah.
I don't, I don't, I don't think I've done that. And I was like, well, it sounds like then we need to figure that out. It sounds
Find
like
some
it's
joy.
time for some brain field
Yeah.
trips and
And it doesn't
some
have to be
frolicking.
big. Like, I could tell you one thing that brought me so much joy the other day.
What?
A new trash can.
I saw you put that in the highs and lows. Why did that bring you joy? I said, Lord, she going through it in there with the trash can, huh?
Ciao. So, okay, picture this, right? Now, so you got the vanity, you have the toilet, and
Uh,
there's the thin space, right?
okay.
Well, the trash can that was there was square. So you couldn't, and it's like the little foot pedal, which I appreciate because then you don't have to touch it. But it couldn't open in that space. So anytime you needed to throw something away, you needed to like pull the trash can out. So and that
Oh,
usually meant with your foot because you don't necessarily want to touch it. So you pull it out with your foot, open it, slide it back because there's no other space in
uh-huh.
the bathroom aside from
I
like
hate
all the way
that.
on the other side. So it was kind
Yeah.
of weird. So I was like, I can't I can't do this anymore. This is weird. And then like the trash can had little dents on the top because you could tell people had just been trying to open the trash can under the cabinet. And I was like, see,
Oh.
this don't make no sense.
Oh
So
boy.
like I was like, there are smaller trash cans in the world. So I ordered a trash can off Amazon because it was too much. And so this little trash can came in. It was nice and
A little
thin.
thin.
It fit in between. It was a foot pedal. It pops open unencumbered. I can throw stuff in it, hands free. I was so happy.
I
I was
love
like
that.
a trash can. So your joy doesn't have to be
Something
I
big and
want to be,
expensive.
living on a beach in a hammock because I've won the lottery. It could be I found the trash can that doesn't
Correct.
stress me out in my bathroom. Like
And
the
that's what I
little
was telling
things
them.
for
It can
real.
be like 5 minutes. It can be 3 minutes. It could be a favorite song. It could be cutting this stupid ass bohemian hair out of your hair because it's done.
Girl.
Okay?
So
It's done. And I am so over this. First of all, when I first got my braids done, the next morning, remember I was like, I'm gonna probably be cut this out. The
we're gonna
next
see how
morning,
long this
the
lasts.
next
You was in there.
morning, I was like, we're done. We're done. Okay. So that's first of all, most of them is already gone. But the ones that's left, it just keep making me angrier and angrier because
Yeah.
this is stupid and you have to maintain this and this is dumb. I don't like it. So the rest of them probably gonna be gone by tomorrow.
Joy.
And it
Know?
does. It
It's
brings
cute
me joy
though.
because then I don't have to worry about it. Thank you.
You know?
But yeah, y'all tell us in the comments what brings you joy. I think that is an
There you go.
important thing to think through. A cup of coffee, my tea, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I have really
Your
been
little teapot.
enjoying. I've really been enjoying this tea journey. It has been so amazing, and has allowed me to have a moment to do something for myself that I know is helping, because
Hmm.
it really is giving me it's medicine, it's medicinal, it's herbs.
Yeah,
So it's really giving me joy. It's like, man, you taking care of yourself, sis. Look at you.
there you
You're
go.
you're doing a good job. Like, that's how it feels. Um,
Yeah,
so yeah, it can be a small thing. It really can. It doesn't have to be
yeah.
anything big. So y'all tell us in the
Anything big?
comments what
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 brings you
is. Oh,
joy?
because I'm also doing a challenge. I'm doing a one thing a day challenge. So the one thing a day,
Nice.
I was talking to this artist a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Annalisa Oswald is her name. And
Okay.
I was telling her like how I want to be creative, and I want to create, and I'm often like struggling with my brain be overwhelmed, but also I want to create, like, and it's just so she was like, I challenge you to just do one thing a day. She's like, one thing. And it doesn't have to be a big thing. So she is like, she paints and she draws. So she was like, my one thing a day might be doodling a drawing on a post-it note in a meeting. One thing. She was like, one thing a day to honor your creativity. And I've really been taking
Hmm.
that to heart, of whether that one thing is being intentional with how I'm making my tea. And actually, you've been seeing me record sometimes in the kitchen, and doing, hey, Bianca, and doing I did ASMR video the other day when I made my chia pudding. Okay, and then
Go
I put my
ahead.
chia pudding parfait together. Cause this is the thing, y'all. Okay, let me try to run down the things. There's a lot of stuff that's happening. Okay, so I'm working on a cookbook. I'm working on my cookbook, and I'm so excited about it. We have a title. Did I tell you the title?
Yeah, La
Okay.
Saison. But you can, I
Concession.
mean, you can tell the people.
I couldn't remember. I be talking so
Oh.
much. I don't be knowing where I'm saying things at. Con Sazon y Amor is the name of the cookbook. Con Sazon y Amor, a journey of love, healing, and flavor. And we are in the test kitchen. So this is my collaborative work with Chef Ratatouille. And
Mhm.
we are working through our recipes.
Ah,
So I did a poll on the different platforms and asked people if they would be willing to come to a cooking experience. It's not a class, a cooking experience, to learn how to make salmon, teriyaki salmon, which is
ah,
a very special recipe to myself, to Ratatouille, to Bianca. So we are like working on a class for that. So we got the class scheduled for next week, next Sunday. How do y'all even register for the class? I don't even know how you do it. Wait a minute.
she said, "Where is
I don't, girl.
that?"
This is when I be turning into an auntie, like, immediately, because then I
Uh,
be like, wait a second
now
now, baby. Hold on.
somewhere
Did I do a
I
tiny URL for this one?
is it in the
Where it's at? Look, where it's at now.
what the where
Which,
is it?
by the way, bruh, I was, I can't see. I can't see. And I have to, if I don't find that sweet spot of what's happening within my eyeballs,
It don't exist. Just blurry and
I
gone.
have been like, it's so far and close, like, all at the same time. Like, what is happening? Okay, I did make a tiny URL for the class. So it's, wait, where is it? I'm pasting it here in the comments. So it's
There you go.
tinyurl.com/con sazon y amor. So that is
Yay.
how you can register for the cooking experience. It is next Sunday at Jesus, girl, I'm doing a horrible job promoting. This is why
Help
I
your
need a
help
damn
yourself.
manager.
Who's in charge of the girls? What
It's
did you
too.
think I meant? It's just like, all
I had
right,
no
fine.
idea. I was just like, okay, whatever, girl. So it's next Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Central Time, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. We're gonna be making teriyaki salmon and rice. And these first couple classes are suggested donation, and it's to support Chef Ratatouille, compensate him for his time and his energy and putting up with me, honestly, because I don't be listening. I've been trying to work on it, but I still don't be listening. I don't, because
Yes,
I'm going to do
indeed.
what I want to do. Okay? So,
Which is very interesting in getting recipes for cooking. But the problem is, you know how to cook. See, it's different if it's someone who's like, I'm not familiar in the kitchen. Like, tell me how much salt I need to put in there. Like, you have an idea of what these flavors are gonna do, what the balance is, how you want to zhuzh it up, and like,
that's fair.
I know that's not in the recipe, but
That's
this
fair.
would taste really good with that. So it's like, it's
I
you're
have a
creative.
little bit of a palate, a little bit of sensibilities.
you
Yeah.
know, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. So we are creating experiences for people who do not necessarily have that you are able to create this really amazing meal without having to have the knowledge abilities and stuff. So I
Hmm.
have been like very, very intentional about the small steps and like, okay, what are these steps as we're writing down the recipes and stuff. And also then, yes, I'll be like, I'm not doing that.
Don't tell me
You
what to do.
you said
Don't
don't
tell me
tell me
what to
what to
do. I
do.
put
And what's next? Cause you ain't telling me what to do fast enough. Okay? And also,
but don't
hush.
tell me.
I'm putting all the
Don't
garlic
tell
I want
me.
to put up in here.
All of the garlic.
Cause I
All of the
like it.
garlic. What I'm gonna do with 2 cloves of garlic? What
Two
is that?
cloves?
For what? I'm a peel 2 cloves of garlic. Come on now.
It's gonna be six. It's fine. It's fine. So the
You
whole
getting this
time,
whole head of garlic.
he's like, listen to me. 2 cloves of garlic, no more. I'm sitting up with four. Uh-huh. Okay, what's next?
Or what?
Just what you gonna do?
What you gonna do? Who gonna check me, boo? Who gonna check
Horrible
me?
student. Horrible. Horrible. I am admitting it in real life. Horrible. So anyway, y'all also get to come and see that because that's what be happening when we be cooking. Because
The
I do not.
ancestors will tell you to stop.
So we are making recipes for people who have that ancestral intuition, right? You just disregard. When you see garlic, some. When you see cilantro, some. Okay, just put some, whatever that amount is to you. And
To your
also,
liking.
if you don't know, go ahead and get to,
It's a quarter teaspoon.
because is there even a spoon for that?
I feel like more of that spills out while you're trying to get a quarter teaspoon in that little thing. What is that for?
1 tablespoon
What is
of
that?
oil. Okay, that feels good. I don't even know.
One,
I
two,
don't
three.
even know
3
what's
seconds.
appropriate. But all
She's
right.
like, how much
So,
oil? Is it a teaspoon? How much you use? I don't know. 3
some,
seconds.
some. That looks good. Fun. So, if y'all want to be a part of the chaotic cooking experience, join us next Sunday
Oh my
at
god.
5:30 p.m. Central. Okay, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. It's on Zoom, so we'll meet on
Nice.
Zoom. You'll register. You'll get the link again. tinyurl.com/con sazon y amor. And it's donation. So minimum donation we're asking is $7 per person. Again, to compensate Chef Ratatouille and for putting up with us. Because I already know. I'm gonna be a mess. And I know the kind of people that's drawn to me, so it's gonna be a lot. And he gonna have to find some patience and God bless him. Okay, God bless him. So
God
anyway.
bless it.
So that's happening. Also, next Sunday, I'm having a family meeting. So, right before that,
Hmm.
because there are so many projects and things that I have going on, and I need help, y'all. I need a manager. I need a social media person. I need people to help me. Because it's a lot. Like there's a lot of additional visibility that is happening right now, and I
Hmm.
see it and I feel it, and it's happening very quickly. So I know that there are some things that I don't want to be the one having to have the conversation, right? So,
Right. Right.
for instance, I've been doing a lot of podcast appearances, and I do want to shout one out in particular. Therapy for Us, Healing for the Culture is the name of the podcast, and the host is her name is Darianne, and she's from New Orleans.
Oh.
Connected with her in a podcast group on Facebook. So this is the thing. I make choices sometimes to show up in spaces where people might not expect me to show up. So in spaces where we are people may just be starting out and they're trying to get traction. If I like your mission, I'm a pull up, right? So her
Hmm.
platform is about therapy and people of color accessing therapy. Again, it's therapy for us, healing for the culture, right? So it's all about black people and the messages we've gotten about therapy. One of the questions that she asked me was, what was a song that would describe my therapy journey? And I
Mm.
told her it was hard because it was like that question had me stumped for a few days. I was like, girl, you know how many songs
I
I
was
got
going
to
to say,
bring
you
to
were
you?
able to pull that up. I was like, you were
Woo,
able to pull that up. I'm like,
girl. But what happened was, before this, I had been reflecting because again, the asylum appointment is coming up. So I had gone back and I was looking at some of the videos that I made, like when I first left,
mm,
when I was living in Mexico, and all of that. And I was telling her that I have always thought that therapy was a thing, that it was valid, like it was something
mm,
that I should be able to experience.
mm-hmm.
And so when I got the opportunity to go to therapy, I was like, whoo, because child, I've been needing to talk about some things. So I told her the song that described my like journey of getting to therapy is Lizzo's It's About Damn Time,
Mm.
because
Gotcha.
that's how it felt getting up in there. I was like, hey, this what y'all doing down here at the therapy office? Child, I've been needing to talk about some stuff, girl. Pull up a chair. Girl, it's been a lot. So it really was like, it is about damn time that I got here. So that was the
Right.
song that I chose.
Wow.
But anyway, I had such an amazing time there, and that episode is going to be released within the next couple weeks. So I'm really excited
Nice.
for everybody to go over there and to listen to it because I got to share, of course, my story is a lot, but I got to share different snippets here and there about it, and it felt so impactful because she's from New Orleans. And I've
Nice.
been gone from home since forever and will not be returning anytime soon. So it felt like a way to still be able to impact people at home,
Mm.
even though I'm not there. And it's
Yeah.
just shout out to the power of technology and, being able to be anywhere in the world at any time. So yeah, it was really great. Also, my life finna die, so I
Oh.
gotta get the charger. But go, what you was finna say?
Yes, it did.
Oh shoot, sorry.
I oh, careful, careful. I went dark. Don't fall down. I did that last time. Um, Jesus. What was I gonna say? Yes, song. I think it would have to be Never Would Have Made It. But that could also be because Marvin Sapp is in the news right now. But that definitely comes up for sure. That's a really interesting question too. Like, what song would uh, wow, my brain just took a nap right there.
That's okay.
Um, that's okay. It happens. It said, no, that was it, girl. That's all you got on that. Um, but yes, I think that was a great prompt and a great question to say, like, what was your journey looking like? And what song, what title to tied to that? I don't know. Mouth didn't want that to happen. Um,
No worries.
child,
No worries.
wild. Um, were you finished with your part?
Yes,
Because
I
I
was about
am
to say you.
wild.
No, it's okay because I was about to ask you about some of the things that you had on the docket because I don't know what these things mean. So I feel like you need to catch up on the
She's like,
things
color. She's like,
because it's
color,
like
color me in
giddy
here.
up in 3 5. What is happening here, ma'am? What?
So, next week, I think it's the 12th. There's a horseback riding experience that I'm gonna take, hence the
Okay.
giddy up.
Here.
Um, Here,
You
yeah.
said you like riding horses before.
Yes, and it's been 100 years since I've been on one, so I'm sure this is going to be interesting. So I'm like,
Okay.
okay, this will be fun. But it's like a 4 hour ride. Then we have dinner. They do like a music something. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go. Because at first I was like, no, I don't need to. I don't have to. Excuse me. But then I was like, you know what, girl? Go outside, have some fun. So I'm gonna go horseback riding. We're going to see the sights, do the things, enjoy myself, connect with the people. Um, because I am realizing as I go through this visionary executive network building that I do need to network more, and that the clients that I've been getting and the jobs that I've been doing are, have been mostly word of mouth. Because again, my consistency around creating, y'all have seen my page. I'll say my consistency around creating period hard stop. Like
That's
that
what the
really
meeting about to
encompassed
be
all of the
about
things.
today at 3 is about to be what is y'all's plan and what is happening because I'm trying to help folks be in position and what's going on. So okay, go ahead.
So I did put out two this week. Thank you very much. I always start the month off strong, so I got to figure out how to capitalize on that so that continues throughout the month. Excuse me. So that when my horsepower runs out, something else takes over. But all that to say, I know I need to network more, because the jobs that I have been getting have been kind of, they're not necessarily what you would automatically think of as an executive assistant. Like I was able to create a welcome book for an Airbnb listing. So it has the pictures of the house. I did articles like about the owners, about the city, about like things to do and see and kid activities, and then like the house rules. And it's done in a way that they can like communicate that with their guests, and then the guests can just interact with the document and like press the buttons, and it looks like an app almost. It's super cute. I felt really proud of it, but it's
Where
not
you
something
made
you would
that at?
normally think of.
And what
Like
platform?
what program? Oh,
Uh
Canva.
okay. Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then that of course led me down the line of, oh, I can go back into my journal and then add these buttons that can link and touch and go back and forth a lot easier for people to navigate. Then that turned into its own thing of me just redoing the journal
So
altogether
you
and
making it
releasing a
like
new one.
bookmarks?
It's like linking, like so it looks like icons. So like it'll have the home page and then like the different icons, and they can click the icon that's was like, say it has like a hurricane glass, and that's for like bars and lounges. So if they click that hurricane glass, it takes them to the bar and lounge page, and then at the
Yeah.
top of that page, there's a
So it's
return
like
to
a
the main
bookmark.
menu, and it can go back. See, I
Okay.
guess, yeah. I
Yeah,
didn't.
I
I guess I
need
wasn't
to.
thinking bookmark, but
I
yeah,
would love for you to show me how to do the linking because
absolutely,
with the directory and stuff,
yes,
and with the
huge.
cookbook, I would like for people
Hmm.
to be able to like I want to design it in Canva because it's going to be digital. So I would like for
Okay.
people to be
Yeah.
able to go to the actual recipe and okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, okay,
I'm gonna show you. I'm
okay.
gonna show you. So stuff like that, and that's not necessarily things that come to your mind when you think I need to hire an executive assistant. I think people picture personal assistants behind like producers and actors. Like, oh, I'm gonna hold your phone. I'm gonna, answer this call. Hey, um, but they don't think that stuff. And then for this other company, I'm essentially acting as like their strategic partner slash in office, but like their remote HR, and helping to design their SOPs and their templates and strengthen their workflows. So it's a lot more than just, oh, I'm going to manage your calendar. But I know it takes talking to people more, to really find out what their needs are, because I am a problem solver at my heart, to be like, oh yeah, I could do that. Like, let me show you how, or come talk to me and I'll show you how. Um, and I've since figured out the, you know, because the way I approach it is based on the value for the person, that it's not just like a money grab. It's here, this is how I make it easy. In some cases, the idea isn't for me to be your employee forever. Like this may just be 60 days and I'm gone and you're able to have somebody else come in and set up and do that, at whatever level you need. So that's been really cool. So I'm looking forward to going horseback riding, looking forward to getting more consistent with my content and figuring out what that looks like. And I think that's really the key is once I figure out the medium, then it's not the work of doing it, because then it's just
How
like,
did it
oh yeah,
feel to write again?
it felt really good. It actually felt really good. And then getting the feedback after that, it resonated so strongly with people. Like I knew I was sitting there crying as I was writing it and rereading it. But then to see classmates that either I did know or classmates that I didn't know that were like, I was so emotional reading that. Thank you for putting that into words. You captured what it's like to be a Mustang. Like all of these comments. And I was just like, oh, wow.
Hmm.
Okay. Yay.
Yeah.
But it felt really good to be able to just kind of sit down and let that out. And it definitely made me start thinking like, okay, maybe, it's not about always like taking video as I'm going to get my nails done. Maybe that's not
Right.
my area, like
Hmm.
I'll record the video.
Hmm.
I have the videos.
Hmm. Take this.
Now the voiceovers and the editing and that's all on my phone. I don't know, y'all. We're gonna figure something out. But like just finding a way to really let you guys see and know what's happening.
Yeah.
Um, just got to find that connection.
Hmm.
It's a work in progress.
Hmm.
And hopefully it gets on the docket while these other things are being created. And in the meantime, at least going out into the real world then to make those connections. Um, but I've been very fortunate that people have been very supportive and like I think we had talked about this last time, recommending me to people of like, oh, you really need to get this done. Like, let me give you this website. Kalonda's going to be great for you. She'll be able to figure out the best way to go forward with this. And then being able to have that kind of built-in trust. So looking forward to growing with that. Super excited. Like it's just being able to finally feel like, okay, this is great because my ultimate goal aside from me being oh yay aside from me finding the freedom in doing this work for other people is also being able to help other assistants and say hey I have too much work, oh my goodness, oh my I need other assistants that can help to do that. And I think with so many people moving abroad, looking for different ways to kind of operate in their areas of genius, having those spaces it's invaluable, and I want to be able to offer that. And we hear it all the time as people are trying to leave the states of how am I going to continue to make money? How do I continue to support my family? And not really knowing what those options are and being able to show them either you can be an executive assistant, you can create these things, or these are the niches that your particular spirits line up with, and you can create your own thing. So it's been fun, and then realizing that it's not just an executive assistant, that it is a strategic partner, it is a visionary. I am working with you to kind of figure out what is your purpose, what is your mission, what is your vision, what are you trying to rally people around, so that it's not just words on the page, it's not just directive. If you can give people a clear path and they buy into that, then it's a lot less work on your part because now they're working with you. So just helping people to make those connections and being able to see those light bulbs go off or hear that they feel a little better after talking to me have been great. It's like, okay, good. Like that's what I want for you. Like I want you to get that time back, and to feel like you're not drowning in something that you
Because
created
that's
because
what
you
it
loved
feels
it.
like. That it feels
Yeah.
like you're drowning. It feels like you can't get ahead. It feels overwhelming. It's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm trying
That's what's up.
one visionary at a time.
Yeah.
um, so that was that part. 3 to 5. Excuse me. The spirits are at it again. So every day this past 2 weeks, I've been up between 3 and 5. Except one day where I woke up at 1:11 and I was like, for real? 1 o'clock? Like,
So
what we doing? What we doing?
I feel like I've also been waking up at like 3 a.m. again lately. But I feel like I kind of charged it to I be passing out. Like
Mm.
so it's like I wake up and be like, You didn't turn off the light, you ain't girl, you just
Like, you
doing the
got your
most.
glasses on still?
All of
Like,
it. Okay. All of it. So I feel like I've been attributing it to that, but I'm okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. What?
but yeah, but very much feeling that whole process of like 3 to 5. And I know that was happening. Now you are plugged up. Anyway, um,
Easter eggs.
the child, I refuse. Um, if I start voguing y'all, it's because my camera's gonna drop. But anyway, yeah, waking up between 3 and 5, and I know before, when I was still in New Orleans and very much, um, still trying to kind of find out what was happening, what I was going to do, what my next steps were, all those things. That waking up between 3 and 5 kept happening. I'm like, why am I not sleeping through the night? And it wasn't even necessarily that it was like, oh, I'm stressed and I'm thinking about something. It was just I was up and was like, okay, what is this? And then realizing, that they say between 3 and 5, like the witching hour, and that's when like the spirits are talking to you and all the portals are open and all those things. So I've been trying to ask, like, okay, God, I'm listening. What are we doing? Because it's 4:44. Like it's 4 o'clock. I would like to be asleep right now. But I'm clearly missing something. So tell me, I'm listening. Now one morning I will say I woke up nice and early and then wound up down some deep rabbit hole of I don't know if y'all see these things on like TikTok or they're on any of the socials, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and they're like the long trailers for these terrible movies of like my neighbor married a secret billionaire. I found my long lost twin at Starbucks or like whatever. Like it's got titles like this. Or like The Final Boss is the one that I just watched. Uh but it's like it'll be like an 8-minute preview, but you're invested at that point.
Okay, I feel like I've seen like a sorority girl type movie type situation, and I actually was like, let me see where this goes. And then, okay, so it's like that. It's like
Kind
a
of like that.
snippet kind of from the movie. Okay,
Correct. But
okay,
it's like the long form, right?
uh-huh.
Well, I went after the however long the trailer was, I went and looked for the actual movie that was like an hour and a half long. Found it on YouTube, watched the whole thing on 2 speed because I'm like, I'm not like, because it's terrible. It's really bad. So it's real bad.
But yet you
Like it
still
could
sit there
be
watching it.
committed, okay? The whole thing of just like, okay, let me just watch this and see
Marlene
this play
says
out.
she
So
sees that they are terrible.
they're horrible. So yeah, I watched like it was like The Secret Billionaire or The Final Boss or something like that. Um, but so the movie ends. Like I literally watched the whole thing, and I'm like, okay, God, I know that can't be why you had me off. That cannot be the answer. I don't know what it is. So I feel like I'm still trying to figure out what the answer is, but I am listening. Um, Very interesting. But yeah, that kind of took me down that road. So I'm just making sure like I am keeping an eye out, just for the different messages, different signs, and just being open in general. And especially knowing that I'm like, okay, I want to start networking and having these conversations with people just so that I know I'm listening for any of those unsaid things that may be kind of pointing me in the right direction. So I didn't know if you were also having kind of the 3 to 5 things happening because like Natijah's been back. I
Yeah.
had this other
Now
reading with
I've
this other lady that was
definitely
like
Girl,
wild this morning.
she been saying everything but KimberlandJackson. Girl, I'm talking
I'm
to
talking
you.
to you. I'm talking to
Yeah, I've
you.
definitely been very much attuned to that. I was gonna ask you because even when I'm doing Discover Your Destiny, I forgot that this happened last time because I was just with myself. But I get very like focused, I guess, and
Hmm.
very, it becomes not necessarily tunnel vision, but I very much am like within this mission of what is happening right now, this moment. So I kind of lose everything else that's happening around. But anyway, I was going
Right.
to ask you because all of this is aligning with you being in Discover Your Destiny and that being a space where you are putting some intentional studies into who you are and what God says and like
Hmm.
all those kinds of things. And there is a real energy shift that is happening right now.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about like what alignment that you see there or how maybe you're even asking different questions or like how is this the Discover Your Destiny journey aligning with what you are experiencing with, oh, maybe I should network more, maybe I should do this more. Let me think about what my content creative expression might be. Like what does that look like?
Hmm. I I think a lot of it is tying in to my ultimate goal, which was wanting to trust and listen to my intuition and my body again. And so that being at the core of it, I think I'm starting to see a lot of those things. That's where I'm seeing the alignment the most. So, you know, with the whole are you smart and like on what level or what do you do with that compliment and popping your shit of like, oh, I have this and I do that and these are my talents, these are my things, like this is what I am confident in. um for me it was just really getting to claiming those things for myself instead of discounting them, much like the compliments and the validation of saying, oh no, you have to say that, or you're my friends, or Marlene will be like, girl, whatever, like, of course you are, or everybody, thank God I am surrounded by very supportive people, because you all absolutely do uplift me. I just have to stop discounting those moments and accepting them, um, but also giving myself that validation and saying like, because I used to say for years, I'd be like, oh yeah, I worked at Best Buy, and it would be like
Yeah, like you was
like,
just a cashier.
and even if you were like, don't like this, that's not bad either. But also not saying like, girl, you were running multi-million dollar companies before you could rent a car. Like, you've been doing this, you've been developing leaders, you've been building teams, you've been creating relationships, you've been building value, and really tying that in, because I think I got really stuck in the area of, you know, not that it's easy, but being able to say, I'm a scientist, people are able to quantify what that means. Except I don't. So, um, but like people are able to like conceptualize that and figure out what that is. And even for myself, it was hard to make that connection without having like that defining title of like, this is the life experience that I've had. These are the things that I've done. These are the things that I'm willing to teach myself and to learn. Um, so it's not necessarily a title that I had that I was able to be like, oh, this is me. This is what I do, and it's more of, I know people. Like, I people. There's no title for that, and it's
That's the
like,
title
that's
though.
the same, and it's like realizing in the industries that I've worked in, even when I was working with the dentist office, like working with doctors and going, hey, I need to tell you how to interact with people. Dentistry. You don't know bedside manner and how to build value and how to show them why it's more important to get a crown now than a filling, even though it's like thousands of dollars a difference. Like, why would that matter? Um, And then same thing, you know, working in different industries now, being able to make those correlations, even though I may not know anything about what they do on the day-to-day basis, but I know how they interact with the people that they come in contact with and how to make that more efficient. But I think trusting my intuition there and listening to myself on how that should go has come and is being developed. And then pairing that with Discover Your Destiny and saying, you know, you can't limit what God can do for you. You know, you can't limit what you can do for you. You know, it's already here, and you're just holding up the line. Like get it together, and stop fighting it. Like there's I think that's where the difference is. You know, and when I made that shift of okay, yes, you know, I like to help people. I like to make things easier, great. But also the bigger piece of that is I can see some of the pieces that maybe you don't see and share that with you in a way that you feel energized and go, oh yeah, that would make sense. Let me see how I can implement that. So yeah, Discover Your Destiny is definitely helping me in that regard. And then just being intentional about, okay, what does your intuition say? And having conversations with my circle. And when people say, you know, oh, are you falling back on, you know, familiar ways? Like, are you really honoring yourself? Like, are you saying yes to things that you want to do? Or are you just trying to make it easy for other people? You know, and really challenging me um, in that way has been so important, you know, and not realizing how easy it is to go back because that's what you're used to. That was your default, you know. Um, so I think those have been really impactful. That was a long way to say that, but yes.
No, I love that. I appreciate you making all those connections. I think is important. Um, to see where alignment shows up because it is constantly there. So like the intentionality and actually being like, okay, this is how things are coming together. This is how I'm putting respect on my own name and I'm honoring
Mhm.
it's nice to see, you know,
Yeah.
because I was like, ma'am, you definitely got gifts.
Yes.
So
Hmm.
I don't know what you're
Thanks.
talking about.
I mean, I know they're there. And Eric used to laugh all the time because I'd be like, oh, you know, well, you've done this in the Navy and you know, do the things on the helicopters. And like, there's a specific field for that. You're like, I worked at Best Buy. Like, I was customer service. You're like, that's so bold or broad that it was like, it felt like there wasn't anything that like a specific direction. And because I like learning all the things, I didn't have like a niche that I was like,
Mhm.
oh, I want to do
Mhm.
customer service in this area. It was
Mhm.
bring me your problems. Like tell me what's stressing you out. Like let's try this.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens with that. Like we can fix this. It's not a
Yeah.
problem. So,
I
but
appreciate
now
that.
I'm excited because we're going. I like go because we're on the move again, like going to Peru. So I'm excited to see what that looks like and building that network out there. Um, so we'll see.
Yeah. It's exciting. There's so much happening. So I'm gonna uplift again that it would be nice to see some things out here in content world, wherever that looks like, whether that's blogging, whether that's videos, whether that's podcasts, what have you, because
Hmm.
things are happening in each of our worlds. And this is not just to
Hmm.
Kalonda, this is also to you all watching and listening. How are you documenting what's happening in your life right now? It is something that is extremely important for us to be thinking about, especially every day as history is being erased. We have the power and opportunity to be able to write our own stories and to let people know that we were here. So, I urge us to all think about what that's looking like and to get out of whatever comparison trap that we might be in that's making us
Mhm.
say, oh, well, nobody cares about da 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 da. It doesn't matter. You're doing this for you. You're doing this so you can go
Right.
back and look 3, 4, 5 years down the line and be like, man, that was a
Look out.
time, huh? That was a time. And look at me now. Look at me now.
Done made it through.
Okay.
Hey,
I did
we
want
got
to
the
uplift
paper.
Xavier's prompt earlier because I do think we love a good
Yes,
AI prompt over
we
here.
love a AI prompt.
So I wanted to show this one. It says, this is a prompt that was asked: analyze my communication patterns based on conversations so far. Tell me what you observe about my thinking style, decision making approach, and potential blind spots. So,
I have done this prompt.
you've done it before?
That's a good
Yeah, I
one.
want to do it and see what it comes up with. But think about, y'all, different ways that you can expand using your AI tools. Think about different ways that you're able to show up for yourself. Think about different ways that you're able to have creative expression, whatever that looks like and sounds like. And I know we didn't get a chance to talk about mobile art, but hopefully maybe next time we'll have mobile art maybe to talk about,
Something to show.
to be
Yeah.
able to show. But there's, find a creative way to be able to honor where you are in your life and find a way to be able to document that, because that does make a huge difference. Also, want to thank you all for hanging in here with us in the new
The
studio
new
experience.
space.
What does it look like, y'all? Tell us. Talk to us about what your experience has been like as a viewer. Do you feel like, the bells and the whistles are here? Is it like, tell us
The
the
air
things.
horns.
You know, the what?
Back, 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 back.
So, what has your experience been like over here down by the riverside? We need to know in the
Amen.
comments, okay? We need to know what the things are. So, please do share that with us as well. Also, reminders about different things that we have going on. So, let me find what are things that, okay, hold on. Okay,
She said, let me, there they
if
are.
you did not already like the video, share it, subscribe to the page, okay? That is helpful for
Tell a
us.
friend.
We tell somebody, tell a few somebodies, okay?
Hmm.
Commit, tell us how many hours that you will commit to helping us to reach our goal of being monetized. We are approximately 1,500 watch hours away, okay? And it's 1,100 of plus of us here, all
Easy
right? So
math.
if
Easy
everybody
math
just
here.
take 2 hours, we're there. We in there.
Done.
Okay.
Look out. Look out,
So
y'all.
please, please, please help us with that. Also, I mentioned earlier the Black Women Healing Circle. If you are a Black woman or someone who identifies as a woman or a femme who is Black and of color, okay. If you're not, I'm not talking to you. Okay. But anyway, if you identify with any of those areas, you are currently trying to navigate burnout. You're trying to figure your way out of a toxic work environment. You want to leave the US. You are looking for a safe place where you can be held, learn some strategies, where you can breathe, where you could just close your door for a minute, tell everybody, excuse me, I'll be back in 90 minutes, let me alone. Please go to tinyurl.com/Black Women Healing Circle. I'm going to be hosting them every 2 weeks. So you can go and register for a date that works for you, and they're variable because I never know who's showing up and I never know what energy we're coming with. So it is very responsive and very much personalized to who is there in the area. So please do that as well. And also, if you are interested in the cooking class, it's not a cooking class. It is a cooking experience. That's what it is. Because I don't want y'all
Experience.
to think it ain't a class, okay? Because I'm not going to be
Because
listening.
the ingredients are some
Okay, so
measurements.
Go to tinyurl.com/con sazon y amor and register for the cooking experience. Again, we are making teriyaki salmon with rice. It is one of my favorite recipes, and you'll be able to get some tips from Chef Ratatouille as he is there. It is a suggested donation of $7 to compensate Chef Ratatouille for his time and attention, and then y'all just get to come out and hang out and have shenanigans. Okay, so tinyurl.com/con sazon y amor. All right. Minding my black ass business, y'all, on all platforms. Okay. So that's on the YouTubes, that's on the Instagram, that's mindingmyblackAssBusiness.com. There is merch. The Discover Your Destiny workbook is also available to be purchased for only $47. So you can find that at KimberlandJackson.com along with my blog and all the other things. Okay, girl, your turn. Sheesh.
Well,
and let me make
I'm
sure I got all
Kalonda.
your
You can
banners up.
Oh, okay. So you can find me on Instagram at Kawanabear, Kawanabear. You can find me on Facebook with my name, Kalonda Jackson. If you're looking for me there, that's perfectly fine too. With Visionary Executive Network, you can find me at visionaryenetwork.com, visionaryenetwork.com. That is also where you can find the Wildly Joyful Life Journal. It is available for $22. And if you're one of the first 22 people, you get it for half off. Look out, $11. Aren't you fancy? Get your life together. You can also find me on Instagram at Visionary Executive Network. Now there, I do content. So there is stuff that usually comes up 2 to 3 times a week. I got to start somewhere.
That's fair.
And don't forget the Cash App, $ Kalonda, because apparently I need a light and a new laptop because WhatsApp is like, girl, you got 38 days on this laptop before we stop supporting it.
That's wild. So, having said that, I did not mention the Patreon because the Patreon also helps us with things like this. Our Patreon is only $5 a month. Our recommendation is that you go to patreon.com and you actually sign up at the website because if you try to do it through the Apple Store, it's going to charge you extra money and we don't get that. So, the recommendation would be to go to patreon.com from a computer / minding my black ass business. It's only $5 a month. If you would like to give more a month, we definitely and greatly appreciate that. But we're trying to build that community over there, and that's a way to make this sustainable for us to be able to predict our income and eventually to be able to hire people, to have a team, to have new technology and stuff, you know, mics and all sorts of things.
All
That's
the things.
where that money comes from. So again, Minding My Black Ass Business on Patreon. You're able to support us there. And if you want to support us individually, $Kalonda, $Kimberland Jackson. We appreciate it all. Y'all, every single penny matters. Okay?
Absolutely.
So if something you like, let me send her $2. Girl, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. So anyway, we'll be back in 2 weeks. If you all again have laughed anytime during this, you have shared a smile, something like the video, share it, subscribe, leave comments, tell people about us, tell us how many hours that you are committed to watching with us. Y'all help us on this journey. Okay. All right. Anything else you want to say before we roll out?
Love y'all. Bye.
Love y'all bunches. Okay, we out of here. Bye, y'all.